Thank you for taking the time to do this and making a long day even longer. We so appreciate having you in the chair. I want to start by just going back quickly to, the last time you were doing this media scrum ahead of the 2018 Olympics. And when you think back to that time, what was going on behind the scenes? How much pain were you in at the time? What were you pushing through to get to that games?
The 2018 was hard because I knew it was going to be my last Olympics. My grandfather passed away just a few months before the games. And then I had crashed in Lake Louise. I had actually dislodged a quarter-sized chunk of my cartilage. So it was like physically, emotionally, wasn't on, my A game. And I don't think I competed to the level in which I know I could. It just wasn't really the Olympics that I had hoped for, and definitely not the Olympics that I had hoped to end my career on.
Shortly after that, you announced you were going to retire at the end of the next season. When you were standing on the podium at World Championships in 2019, what did you hope for the next stage in your life?
I had hoped for a lot of things after I had retired in 2019. I don't think a lot of them actually came to fruition, unfortunately, but I learned a lot. It definitely was a process. I had to, go to therapy and just figure out really who I was outside of skiing. And I realized that I'm not just a ski racer. I'm not someone that is defined by how many races I've won or lost. I'm a whole person. I really want to get better at tennis. I just really been focused on it. I don't know why. It's a weird little quirk of mine, but also I started doing a little bit of rodeo roping, which is super random and odd, but I really enjoyed it. And I think horses and riding it's really interesting to me because it's you're combining nature and animals with speed and kind of power, and it's this interesting mix of things together. And roping is an interesting challenge. I tried playing polo a little bit, but those ponies are well, I don't know if I could ever be good enough to ride one of those guys.
What did you learn in the 6 years that you were away from ski racing that you've brought now into ski racing in this past year?
I think I've learned how to be a more confident person as a whole. I think there are aspects of my life that I was really confident in. Obviously, skiing was one of them. But outside of skiing, I think there were maybe holes that I was missing. I'm not looking to prove anything to anyone in this experience. I'm doing it for myself because I love skiing. But I also think that I'm capable of more. I think I'm capable of really doing well in these games, and I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't think that.
I remember you saying that right after you retired, you wrote a book, and then you realized when you read it back, you'd written it from a really dark place, and so you wrote it again.
Yeah.
From a much more a place of confidence and just being happier and more sort of sure of yourself.
Yeah.
How important and crucial was it to be in that headspace before you made the decision to return to ski racing?
A lot of people, when I made this decision to come back, said that I'm skiing because I'm not fulfilled in my life outside of skiing. And I think if I had done that, if that were true, I would be doing this comeback for the very wrong reasons. My life is whole. I'm just skiing because I love doing it.
Did you smile this much when you were ski racing before 2019?
I've always loved ski racing. I've always loved it. I wouldn't have come back as many times as I did if I didn't love it. But at the same time, I think I'm enjoying it in a different way. Like, it's just a different perspective. I'm seeing it through a different lens. Not that I'm necessarily enjoying it more. It's just different. I just see it differently because I've lived a lot in the last 6 years, and it just gives me a clearer lens to see life through. I get to do something that I never thought I would be able to do, and that's something that very few people get to do. So I'm enjoying every second. I am maximizing every little thing that happens, every second in the gym. Even though it's hard, I am still enjoying it. I'm loving the work. I'm loving the process. I love being a part of a team. I love being back in the starting gate. I love going fast. There's nothing about this that I don't enjoy.
So you make your return in Sun Valley. You're on the podium. What do you remember most about that moment?
I just remember crossing the finish line and how good that felt. I just felt so much relief and joy, and you work so hard at something, and when you finally get there, it feels like a weight's lifted off of you. Even though I didn't feel pressure, I still felt like there was doubt. And maybe not from myself, but from others, especially my peers, who would criticize me and this comeback. And also people that think that, older women can't compete. And I just proved to everyone that I can.
But what did it do for you when you looked ahead to the next year and a half?
It gave me a head start for this next season. I think it put me in a much better place going into the Olympic season because I know I can do it, and also everyone else knows I can do it.
What does it mean now to put yourself in a position to potentially end your career on your terms in Cortina, of all places?
It would be such a poetic ending that it's kind of hard to even believe that it could be real. I'm in such a better place. I want this to be the ending that I choose, and maybe I'm asking too much, but I do believe that certain things are meant to be, and there's a certain level of fate that comes into play in life, and I don't think it's an accident that I'm here, and Cortina will be my final race.
You said earlier the 2018 Olympics was really emotional for you because your grandpa, and you're skiing with the initials of several people in your life.
So many people.
Who've lost and who are people and four-legged friends who are really important to you. How will you manage that at this Olympics?
It's going to be really hard. My grandfather meant so much to me, and to not have him there was really hard. And my mom obviously meant the world to me, and she was the only person that was at every single Olympics, the only one. And it'll be hard. It'll be really hard not to have her there. But similar to how I felt in Sun Valley, I felt that my mom was there. And in ski racing, you need a little bit of luck. And I think my mom will be up there helping me.
When you were making the decision to come back, you suddenly had this body that could do what your mind wanted it to for the first time in a long time. How much did what your mom had gone through play into saying, my body, I can, yes, let's do this?
I think my mom, in general, her attitude has always inspired my comebacks. And this is no different. I think her passing makes me realize even more that life is short, and I'm given this opportunity, and I can't take that for granted. And I think I would be doing my mother a disservice and myself a disservice if I didn't try. And if I fail, who cares? I've already won everything. Someone asked me today if not being successful at the Olympics would tarnish my legacy. No, because I tried. My legacy is not about winning, it's about trying. It's about falling and picking yourself back up. And that's what my mom embodied so well. And that's what I'm continuing to do for her and for myself.
Yeah, the hardest thing is getting to the start gate.
Yeah, and I'll be there, hopefully.
What do you think she would think of what you're doing right now?
I think she'd be so happy, and I think this whole process has been really good to just think about what she would say and how she would have reacted. And I know if I would have told her that my idea was to come back, she would have been so happy and she would have supported me 100%. But even just thinking about being on the cover of Time magazine, that was my mom's favorite magazine. And those are the small things that you think about that really impact you.
Who was the first person you told when you made this decision to say yes to that voice in your head and return to ski racing?
The very first person was it wasn't my dad. He was low on the list because I was really nervous about what he would say.
What did your dad say when you told him?
I thought my dad was going to be more against my plan. And I said, listen, Dad, I just want you to process this, think about it for a few days before you respond or call me back. And he wrote me back pretty quickly, and he's like, Lindsey, this doesn't surprise me at all. And I think this is a good opportunity for you to go back to a place that you love so much. And hopefully you can get the closure that you are looking for. And he also said, I'm super stubborn, and I wouldn't listen to him even if he told me not to, which is 100% true.
You got a new pup?
I did.
How did you come up with the name Chance? What meaning is there in that name?
He had the name.
He had the name?
That's why I got him. Yeah, I was thinking about getting another dog, and I was still mourning the loss of Lucy, but my sister said, you're much happier when you have a dog with you. And so I thought, okay, I'll start looking. And then on the very last page of the website that I was looking at, the very last dog, it was Chance. And I was like, this is poetic. This is my chance. This is my boy. This is my second chance. And that was it.